Hey guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to scrape anything using N8N. Let's begin. First of all, for this workflow to work, we will need another tool called Abify. We will be basically using this tool to scrape the data from any website or anything, literally any product on the internet, and then we'll be using that data inside N8N to manipulate it or do whatever we want with it. You will find the link in the description for Abify. You can click it, head there, and then create your account and sign in. We will come back to Abify later, but for now let's start exploring this workflow. So for the first node, again we will be using an N8N form. How you include this, all you have to do is right click in the workflow, click on add node, look for forms, and then select the N8N form, and then under triggers you will find the on new N8N form event. Once you select it, it will give you something like this. Here is where we actually configure our form that we'll be using. So I gave it a title. In my case, we'll be scraping Google Maps businesses, so I gave it that name, a brief description, and then we'll be giving it the elements to be included in the form. How I got these elements, it's simple. Let's go back to Appify. So after you log into your account, you will be redirected to an interface like this. You will find a list of scrapers that you can use. As I said, you can literally scrape everything. There's a bunch of options. So for our case, we'll be using a Google Maps extractor. So go here and type in Google Maps extractor. So you'll find it here. Again, this will apply for any scraper that you decided to go with. Look for the actual parameters that the API will accept. So for my case, as you can see here, you can see the search terms, the location, the number of places, the language. As you can open from here and find other parameters, I will be taking only these main parameters that we find here directly. So for my case, search terms, location, number of places, and language. Go here and then click on JSON just to see it in a JSON format. So from what we see here, we have 4 parameters that we have to map inside our form to be looking for the exact business or place in Google Maps. So we'll be taking the language, the location, limit of the search, and then the search string array, which will be the search terms in an array format. So all we have to do is go here in N8N, and we'll be adding all of these elements to our form. So as you can see here, search terms will be the string array. So we can't include a string array here, but we will be using a text or a string that we put a placeholder for as comma separated. So when the user types in the list of search parameters, it will be comma separated, and then we can treat it in a separate code node to create a string, to create an array out of it, make the field required, and then we'll be adding the second option, which is the location. So add location, keep the element type to text, no placeholder here, and then the language. So be adding a language variable here, and again text. And then for the extract limit, as we can see here, it is a number, not a string. So we'll be adding another parameter so called extract limit, and then for the element type we put number, and then we leave it. For the second node, we will be using a custom code node, which will be treating the actual comma separated string and turning it into a array of strings. So all we have to do is right click on the workflow, look for code, and then add it here. For that, you will be using JavaScript as a language. Keep this to run once for all items. And then for the code, it's just a simple code. Pause the video and copy it. For the search terms, we'll be using the exact name of the element in the form here. As we can see here, we have put search terms, so it will be search terms for this case as well. And then just keep the array as it is. For the third node, we'll be using edit fields here just to make sure that, because in N8N we have this option here, which is skip closed places to false. It is a boolean, but if you map it here inside the HTTP request, it will not be as boolean. So you will have to set it in a separate edit fields as boolean and then map it directly from here. So for this, right click on add node, look for set, and then select this. You will have to switch the mode to manual mapping and then add a field, like click here, add a field, give it a name. For my case, I give it boolean. And then for the type, switch this to boolean and then keep it to false. So yeah, we'll be using it later on in the HTTP request. Now moving on to the fourth node, which will be HTTP request. To add it, again, right click, add node, look for HTTP, and then add it. It will be basically the interaction with the Appify API or the actual scraper that we have chosen in the Appify tool. So go back to Appify here. This is the interface for our scraper. Just to add it here and to find the actual API URL, just go to integrations, scroll down a bit, look for use API endpoints, and then scroll a bit more. You will find this run actor synchronously and get dataset items. Just copy this link here and then go back and copy the URL inside the URL field here. So paste and then paste it, actually not copy it, sorry. And then switch the method to post. As you can see here, it says post. If we open this again and the run actor synchronously and get dataset item, it is a post request. So select this to post and then activate the send body content type to JSON and specify body. It will be using fields below. So I will introduce all the actual body request parameters. So if you go here, go back here and then go to input, switch this to JSON, we will find a simple body request. So we'll have all these parameters here that we have to map exactly. So for example, search string array, it is here. We have the location query, the language, the max scroll places per search, and the skip close places, etc. For this, we'll be executing the previous nodes. So let's put an example, restaurant, for example. And then the extract limit, let's put 2 items only, just for testing purposes, because Appify is paid. Actually, I'm using the free trial right now. You can get it from the link below. You can use $5 basically worth of scraping, and then you will have to upgrade your plan. So yeah, going back to the form, let's submit it, and then you will see that we will see the output of the previous nodes that we can map directly. For this search strings array, we will be getting it from the code node, so drag and drop here. For the location, we can take it actually from the form, so open the form, look for location, then drag and drop it here. For the language, again, take it from the location, from the form. For the max scroll place, the same thing. And for the skip close places, we'll be taking this from the edit fields here, so the boolean that we have created, and then we will save it. After that, let's see actually the output response of this. And yeah, as you can see here, we got the output or the scraped data using Appify. So it gave us 4 items. So yeah, we'll be using next the split out node. Again, right click on a node, look for split out, and include it here. For this, we'll be treating each item from here on its own and actually cleaning the output, because it outputs a lot of data that we will not be needing. So for this, we'll be using this split out node. So for the fields to split out, select title, and then for the include the selected other fields, and then you will have to map the fields that you want included inside your output data that you'll be persisting later on, either using Google Sheet or whatever. So for my case, I'm only taking the address, the website, and the phone unformatted. So for this, just drag and drop the fields that you want included. So yeah, after we got each item, we will be appending each item that we got into a Google Sheet. For this case, I created a Google Sheet document that I named businesses here. I gave the fields title, website, phone, and address, same as the field that I have mapped in the split out node. So for this, we'll be including this. And to include it, we'll have to add a Google Sheet node. Again, right click, look for Sheet. They include this. You will have to create your credential here. Click on create new credential and you will have to log in with your Google account. After that, for the resource, it will be sheet within document, the append row. For the document, we'll be selecting the name of the document that we have created. So for my case, businesses. For this sheet, we only have one sheet. So sheet 1, it will be that. For the next option, it will be map each column manually. And then you will have to, after executing, of course, the nodes will be dragging and dropping the title, the website, the phone, and the JSON address into here, and then we are set to go. And let's test our workflow. So for this, we'll have to click on test workflow. Let's give it, and then let's click submit, and then let's wait for our workflow to actually finish scraping and then adding the items to the Google Sheet. So Appify is doing its job. By the way, this is just a simple example on how to use Appify to scrape anything with N8N. Of course, you will have a lot of options, a lot of scrapers here that you can use. Choose the one that is relevant to your use case and then use it. All right, our workflow has finished executing. So if you go here, we will find all the leads that we got from our scraper, and they are submitted here into this Google Sheet. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.